Hello everybody, this is Tom, November 0, Zulu Echo Tango. I'm here in Whoville with our buddy the Grinch. Hopefully he keeps kind of quiet today. Normally he's kind of, you gotta watch him. He's a character. So, I want to talk about handheld radios, HTs. People call them a lot of different things, but HTs, handheld radios. What's right for you? What's a good fit for you? There are a lot of different options, a lot of different style radios. From, let's see, FRS radios, like this one here, to GMRS, to amateur radio. And I'll talk about pros and cons of each one, or more pros, I guess. So we'll start off with FRS radios. Now you can get very inexpensive. These are, I don't even know if they make these anymore. This one's probably about 15, 20 years old. This is an old AudioVox FRS radio. You could buy these at Walmart. I think I've still seen different brands, different styles of these radios for $25, $30 for a 2-pack. They work all right. You know, you kind of on all of these, you kind of get what you pay for. Now, yesterday I was surprised. The wife was at Costco and found these Motorola FRS radios. This is the T600 H2O. It's an FRS radio. Now with these, you don't need a license. You don't need anything. Just buy the radio, you turn it on, and away you go. What's really interesting about these is we tried them out. Very nice receive, very nice transmit. Now these Motorolas are very low power. I think they're half a watt to 1 watt, somewhere around there. Don't quote me on that. So for around the house, out in the yard, they work exceptionally well. They really do. And the thing I like about the Motorola versus this, so the little bitty bubble pack radios you get at Walmart, you know, like I said, $25, $30 for a 2-pack, and they work. Not the best audio quality, kind of scratchy at times, where the Motorola has a much better receive and a much cleaner transmit. So they're really coming in nice. Now what's neat about this one here, and I'm not going to go through all the details on them, but it's got a neat function here. Actually, it floats. So if you're out in a boat, canoeing, kayaking, whatever, they float. And then let's see here. And then what's really neat is when they hit the water, they've got a nice function. You can see they're kind of a neon green, but when they hit the water, it turns on the light. And it's got and you can turn it on from, there's a little button up here, and it's got a red light and a regular light. So if you're out camping, this is actually a usable light, which is nice. And like I said, no license, no testing, you just buy them and away you go. Another nice thing about these Motorolas, or the FRS radios, extremely simple to use. I mean, you could hand one of these to your 8-year-old and they could use it extremely easy. You turn it on, you put the channel that you're going to be on, and just hit the button on the side, and now you're talking. Nothing, they don't have to program anything. It's very simple, very simple. And so for, like I said, for around the house, at a smaller campsite, they work quite well. Okay, now we're going to move up the ladder here to from FRS to GMRS radios. Let's see if we can turn this bugger on. Okay, now this is a GMRS radio. It's got a lot of channels in it you can program for using different tones, or a repeater if your area's got a repeater in it, or if you put one up. This is the KG 905 GMRS. Very nice little radio, really is. Very clean, transmits beautiful. The audio quality is actually quite nice. They're all FM on the UHF spectrum, and they work exceptionally well. The drawback to the GMRS radios is you have to have a license. There's no test, but you have to have a license. It's $35 for 10 years. Just very simple. You go on the FCC website, you fill out the application, pay your $35, and generally, if you do it in the morning, that afternoon, or the next morning, you've got your license. An email from them, hey, you've got your license, and they'll issue you a call sign. The nice thing about GMRS licensing is that license covers not only yourself, but your family. So if you're, no matter where, you know, you're in the city, at your home, you've got a farm, hunk of land you go to, all of your family can have one of these radios. You can talk back and forth. Very nice, very nice. What is the best radio for family? You and your friends, you've got to kind of decide what you want to spend for money for radios, what you want to do. Because I'll tell you, the Motorola FRS radio, you're not gonna, or even the GMRS radio, you're not gonna get on here and turn it on like ham radio or amateur radio and expect to talk around the world, talk to everybody out there. It's not really gonna happen. It's these two type radios, FRS and GMRS, are meant more for family and friends. You know, whether you're at deer camp, you're out four-wheeling, whatever the case may be. But they are very nice for that. Now, one thing nice about the GMRS radios, like this Wuxon 905, instead of FRS only being, let's say, a half a watt for transmit power, the GMRS radios are 5 watts. Very nice. So you get a much cleaner signal. You're transmitting a little further, and people are going to be able to hear you better. So if you're in the house and someone's out on the tractor, they can call back to the house, hey, run some more diesel fuel out here. Where the heck's my lunch? You know, whatever it may be. It's very nice for that. Now I've got, like I said, this is the Wuxon KG 905. Very basic, very simple, very good, and pretty durable GMRS radio. And I want to say these are about $99 roughly, under $100, but well worth it. Very nice. Now you want to spend a little more money on a GMRS radio. This is the KG 935 Plus GMRS radio. And this one, same thing, it's got a bunch of memories you can store stuff in. Whether it's different, you could take one channel and have 2 tones, put a tone on each channel, a different one. So you can do different things, and that's probably something for another video, how to do all that. But what I like about this one is it's got a beautiful screen. Let's see if we can get it up here. You know, it's a color screen. Do you really need that? No. but it's got your weather channels on here, and it's got a receive for non-GMRS stuff. So you could probably listen to some amateur radio, VHF, UHF stuff, whatever's in the local area. You can receive it and listen to it. So that's very nice. Can you transmit out on those? No, it won't. The radio won't let you. But very, very nice radio. Now, with all the GMRS radios, there's a plus versus, let's say, the FRS, like this Motorola here. So on the FRS radios, you're really limited to this antenna, where on, I want to say, pretty much all of your GMRS radios, you can remove the antenna, like this 905 here. You can screw in a different antenna, one with a little more gain to really help you pull in those signals. Or what I like is, let's say you don't have a lot of money to spend. You can take the antenna off, and they make an adapter. You can get them on Amazon for under $5. You screw it in here, and then for another $10, $15, you can get a little magnet mount antenna that you can put on top of your vehicle. So you screw that in, you put your antenna on there. So now you're going to get a little better range. You know, if you're in your vehicle, let's say you and a few friends, you're all driving up somewhere. Now you can talk back and forth. Much easier than with the antenna on here. But, let's see here. And with a lot of your GMRS radios and amateur radios, you can get a extension microphone. You know, it's a speaker and a microphone. You know, it's got the push to talk. You can hear through here. So you could clip this thing up on your visor, have your outside antenna, and then have this, you know, where you can use it to talk to your friends that you're following, or whatever the case may be. So that's a very, very nice option for the GMRS. Now, as far as, like I said, licensing, it's $35 for the license. There's no test, and it covers your whole family. So that's a really nice option there. Okay, now we'll go up into one of my favorites. Now this is an amateur radio for VHF, UHF. This is a Yaesu FT5D. You can look it up if you want to see the price, but I hope you're sitting down when you do. They're not cheap. But this thing will do digital. It'll do regular. It's just wonderful, wonderful radio. Now, the deal with the amateur radio is, yeah, you've got to have a license, and you've also got to take a test to get your technician license. They're not that difficult to get, and you do what is right for you. You know, is FRS. You don't want to have a license. You don't want to deal with anything. FRS is, you know, it works, and it works pretty good. You want to step it up a notch? GMRS. You get a license for that. Good for the whole family. You want to go up into amateur radio? Hey, hats off. I think it's great. I like it. I use all of these different types because not everybody has an amateur radio license, but it's only good for you, not anybody else. So you can't just hand you're not supposed to hand your radio to someone else and let them talk on it, unless you're right there with them. The nice thing about getting your ham license is it opens the doors for a lot of things. It gives you a lot of tools. And when I say tools, it gives you a lot of knowledge on not only the handhelds, but your base station, your mobile antennas, HF frequencies on. You can talk around the world. Not particularly on this one, but on HF. And I shouldn't say you can't talk around the world on this. They've got deals you can put in your house. It's like a hotspot, and it picks up this, and then you can, depending on where you go, how you set your hotspot up, you can talk to people in Great Britain, Germany, all over. But it's going through from this to the hotspot through the internet to that amateur radio repeater in, let's say, London. It's kind of cool. A lot of things you can do. Where HF you can talk, it's point to point. So, but enough of ham radio. For the folks that are interested in that, you can just Google it, look on YouTube. There's just a plethora of videos, how to get started. What do I recommend for people? That's up to you. What do you want the radio to do? What do you expect out of it? And who do you want to talk to on it? Do you want to just talk to your family in a small area? This Motorola 600, nice little radio, not a lot involved in it, and it works, for just around the house, small area, campsite. You want to knock it up a notch? I really like the GMRS radios, like this 905. This 935 plus, it's got a lot more options on it. But I really like the 905. It doesn't have all the options, but do you really need them? Do you have to spend that extra money to get those options? And this thing works exceptionally well. It really does for the money. It's a great little GMRS radio. One thing that I want to talk about a little bit here is, so every radio has to be approved by the FCC or type code accepted, they call it. It's Part 95. It's in the FCC rules, and every radio from every manufacturer has a little sticker, whether it's behind the battery on the radio, that the FCC issues a number saying, yep, this thing is certified under X, Y, and Z. But what I see is, and I'm not knocking Baofeng at all, they're an extremely inexpensive radio. You can get one, and it's actually sold as an amateur radio, a ham radio. So by the rules, you're supposed to have a license for it. But I see a lot of folks buying these because they can modify them, open them up, unlock them, however you want to say it. And you can transmit all over the place for VHF and UHF. Do I recommend that? No. It's once you get outside the transmit range of a radio, they start to get a little sloppy. Well, sometimes really sloppy. The audio isn't the best. The receive isn't the best. So, like I said, if you're going to do FRS, GMRS, stick with one of those radios. They are much better. And one thing that really kind of gets me is you'll see these folks that they're big into prepping or survival, and they'll spend thousands of dollars on equipment. But then they go out and they get a $25 radio. Spend a few more dollars, get something that's going to work for you, and something that's easy to use. So you've got this sitting in a box or in a backpack. It sits there for 2-3 years. Something happens. You go to pull it out. Oh my gosh, how in the heck do I use this thing now? You got to find a book for it, remember how to program it. Where FRS, like this Motorola, really nice. You pull it out, you turn it on, and you're off and running. The only thing you have to do is, what channel are we all going to be on? 1, 2, 3, whatever it may be. And away you go. And for the GMRS, you know, and don't take me wrong, I am not sponsored by anybody. I'm not making any money by this. All of these radios I purchased myself. Well, my lovely wife purchased me these here, so hats off to her. She thought they were neat and got them, and they are. But the GMRS radios, branded for GMRS, same thing. You pull it out, you turn it on, you put the channel you want, and away you go. They work. They really do. One last thing here. So you've got a, you know, whether it's an FRS, a GMRS, or heck, even a ham radio. So where I go for hunting, it's pretty much out in the middle of nowhere. No power. Yeah, we've got a generator at the campsite, but oh, my phone's dead, my radio's dying. This is a little, let's see here, Goal Zero. It's a little fold-out solar panel, and I put a little hook on here so I can hang it up on a branch, set it up against a tree, you know, get some good bright sun. And you can charge a lot of these radios. You can charge your cell phone. And what's really nice about some of these, I don't even know if they make this particular model anymore, but they've got, this one came with a little battery pack. You put AA's in there and you can charge them up. So then in the evening, no sun, how am I going to charge my phone, my radio? This has got USB plugs on it, so you can plug it in and charge your stuff up. And what's nice is you can put AA's, and it's got an adapter for AAA's, so you can charge a bunch of the rechargeable batteries up and have them for use. Very nice thing to have, you know, especially if you're, like I said, for camping, hunting, whatever the case may be. Any questions? Throw them in the comments, and I'll, you know, I check it every now and then, and if I can answer it, I'll get back to you. But these are not all of the radios. There are a large number of GMRS brands, out there. Same with FRS. Yeah, Amazon has a ton of them you can go to. I really like going to an actual brick and mortar store or a place online that sells all of this stuff, because you get good service. If you've got a question, you can pick up the phone, call them up, and hey, what about this, this, and this, or the radio's doing that, or whatever the case may be. They can really help you out, versus you buy on Amazon, and depending on the radio, you may not have that support, or you'll have to email them and hope you get a reply back, if ever, from them. Well, at that, the Grinch has been pretty nice. He's been pretty quiet, which is good. And it's that time of year. So everybody have a great Christmas and Happy New Year.